I think you know the routine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Bruce Skog, District 10, Star, Middleton, and Nampa areas. Before you is an actual cleanup bill to keep our Capitol Mall clean. This bill enhances the security by imposing time limits on how long the symbolic tents or other structures may remain on the Capitol Mall. It formally defines camping while still permitting side-free canopies for shelter. And also, it sets the time that the police will hold the property for up to 90 days. And that's a standard 90 days for the Idaho State Police. That is not property that they seize. It is property that is left behind by people that do the protests, and they don't just throw it out, though a lot of it is garbage. It seems like garbage. They hold it for 90 days. And so with that, I'm asking you to send this to the floor with a due pass recommendation.
Thank you, Chairman Scott. We do have some questions. Why don't we take those questions right now? Representative Scott?
I make a motion to send House Bill 603 to the floor with a due pass.
Okay, recommendation. Any further questions? No, we do have someone signed up for virtual testimony. Let's see if we can get them on. Caleb Jacobs, can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Tell us who you are and who you represent, if anyone.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chairman. My name is Caleb Jacobs. I'm with Cicero Action, and here in support of HB 603. 603 builds on the work of previous legislation to ensure that the Capitol and other key state properties are protected from the risks of unregulated camping. And Cicero Action urges support for the strengthening of prohibitions against residential camping on public property in Idaho, which this bill does. This bill also addresses the gap in other state laws. And so to give a little bit of context, Senate Bill 1141 addressed the important public health and safety issues of unregulated and unauthorized public camping. This legislation applied to public property, building grounds, and roads, political subdivisions, making unauthorized camping prohibited for many local buildings associated with government buildings that might be the target of public protests or residential encampments. Political subdivisions are expected within this framework to hold individuals accountable if they violate the ban and build a framework themselves. The U.S. Supreme Court also upheld the discretion of governments to regulate camping activities on public property in Grants Pass versus Oregon in 2024. HB 603 aims to address a comparable issue on state property. So this bill is aligned with the approach taken by SB 1141, but offers more specific regulations to the practice of unauthorized camping in key state properties. This specificity is necessary because unlike SB 1141, which required political subdivisions to develop regulations but offered them discretion in doing so, HB 603 focuses on property directly regulated by the state. So like SB 1141, HB 603 applies to public buildings that may be associated with public protest. Camping can be a form of protest, but like all forms of speech or protests would be subject to reasonable time, manner, and place of regulation. HB 603 approaches this delicate balance with nuance and restraint. And so with that, we support the bill, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to it.
Thank you for your testimony. Do we have any questions for Mr. Jacobs? Representative Gannon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Jacobs, could you repeat the organization you represent and just tell me a little bit more about it, where it's located, and who's involved in it?
Mr. Jacobs.
Cicero Action. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mr. Jacobs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Cicero Action, and it's we're advocating for policy. The office is in the 2nd Congressional District, but we're involved in about 30 states.
Any follow-up? Any? Representative Gannon,
Yes,
follow-up?
Mr. Chairman, the 36 states or districts or
30 states. So we operate in Idaho as one of the states, but we're involved. I'm specifically focused on homelessness and public safety.
And
And the follow-up?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
And where is your headquarters or principal office?
Austin, Texas.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and we have an office in Boise as well.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Mr. Jacobs, thank you for testifying.
Thank you.
Okay. Would you like to close, Representative Skog? Nothing else to be said. I'm sorry, Representative Mathias, do you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick question for the sponsor. Representative Scott, can you let us know what I know that this is an update to an infraction law currently or under this bill preferably. Tell us, like, if the state police come and someone's in violation of this, are they given a ticket? What's the ticket amount? Are they just taking could you tell us what happens when someone's in violation of this infraction, commits this infraction?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, Representative Mathias, I do not know exactly what would happen. If it's a misdemeanor, it's always a possibility for an arrest. If it's a fraction, there's not an arrest, there's a citation. If it's a misdemeanor, they can merely give a citation. Imagine, this is just me speaking, that they give a warning, hey, you need to move this tent off. You're setting up camping with sleeping equipment and a cook stove. That's not allowed. And they lay out the rules for them. If they don't comply, then I suppose they would take action there.
Representative Gannon.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Chairman Skog, I'm familiar with the entire issue of the camping because that came up with the Occupy movement in 12, 13, and 14. And I was always under the impression that that these statutes were a work that took place between our Attorney General, the Department of Admin, and attorneys, and then I think there's a couple of federal court decisions on that there were a couple of appeals or a couple of filings with our district court. I don't think there was an appeal. What has required the changes that are in here? What change in circumstances has required those changes, and what prompted this legislation?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Gannon, fair question. I'll have you know that I'm familiar with the Cicero Institute, but I had no idea they would be testifying here today. They were not part of the drafting of this. This comes from our Department of Administration in response to court decisions to be in compliance with those court decisions.
Are there any further questions? All right, so properly before the committee, we do have a motion to send H603 to the floor with a due pass recommendation. Are there any comments on that, or Representative Mathias?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This seems pretty straightforward to me. But the memo we got about Senate Bill 1141, I'm having a hard time trying to harmonize what is the seeming intent. And I think I know what the intent of this bill is, but under Senate Bill 1141, people in my community were told, for example, if they were on public rights of way, they had 48 hours or 72 hours or something like that to move on. And I think I like everything in this bill except for line 16 through 18. I don't know how I can reconcile telling a single mother living in her van that she has 3 days, but if she's down with a tent, she only has sunlight to sundown. I probably should have spent more time with this, but because of this inconsistency, I'm going to be a no vote.
And anybody else? All right, then let's proceed to a vote. I guess we can just do a voice vote. Apparently, it'll seem good. So all those in favor of sending H603 to the floor with a due pass recommendation, say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Nay. And do you want to go on the record as nays? Okay. And the comment from
I might reserve my changing my vote on the floor. I'd just like to hear more from admin. If admin's behind it, then I might have a different viewpoint.
And the motion has passed that will go to the floor with a due pass. And I believe that concludes our business unless Chairman Scott would like to come back on. Okay, we are done for the day. Thank you.